Hey, welcome guys. Welcome to this little Christmas Eve special. I just thought I'd test out some of my stuff to see if it's working all right. It might be a short video. I don't know. We'll see where it takes us. 1 second, guys. A little bit of a Christmas light in the background here. All right, guys. So I had my kid help me out with some updates on the system, and it's looking pretty good. So I'm going to test it out and try it out. Look at my hat. It's all sideways on me. So readjust some things. Check my mic. Sounds like it sounds good. He let me know. He let me know if the sound sounds a little off. I can adjust that a little bit on the volume level here. Okay, this sounds okay right there. All right. So this light's kind of tripping me out. Hold on a minute. Okay. So we're going to test out some equipment here. So give me a second, guys. Get some more light in the background. Okay. All right, guys. I hope you are having a good Christmas Eve. I'm glad to be here. I'm going to readjust here. Hold on a second. All right. So, decided to do this out of nowhere. All right. I got a little bit of bad beard day. All right. 1 second, guys. Trying to adjust some stuff here. Anyhow, oh, hey, how you doing, Karen? Thank you for being here. Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a great Christmas day. I apologize. I'm a little tired. Um, I just wanted to test out some stuff. So what we're going to do is check out some videos real quick. I want to see if they work. I'm just going to go on here. I'm trying to figure out how this works. Give me a minute. Okay. Coming up with some ideas, thanks to my friend Matt and other podcasters I've been watching. I kind of want to do some reaction videos, so I can talk about it. And I'm trying to come up with something a little different, of course. So, what kind of Christmas cryptids have you guys heard about? I'd love to hear about it. Put it in the comments. I'm curious what you might have heard. So bear with me. This is kind of like a test. So just spare out a moment to do a little testing on this video. And I had a little bit of champagne here, guys. So usually don't drink anything. So a little bit of champagne. So. All right. Let's see here. This is interesting. Let's see if we can check it out. So 1 second, guys. 1 second. Bear with me. I'm going to see if this works. I'm trying to figure out how to set this up. So we're going to go to YouTube here. We're going to pause this. And this would be a YouTuber named Darby Valentine. The Forgotten Cryptids of Christmas. So I know you got to basically promote their name to be able to legally show these videos. So I'm learning more about that. So let's see if you guys want to check them out with me. I want to try to do a little something different. I'm gonna do some little bit of Christmas cryptid videos to check out, and then eventually down the road, I like to do some more reactions to researchers of the unknown. So we can figure out if they're legit or not. It's kind of an idea I'm coming up with. So bear with me, guys. Just hold on a second. Let's see if it works. Let's see here. Um, all right, let's try it.
I typically refer to myself raised as religiously confused, half Jewish conservative, half staunch Irish Catholic. I also don't know how that was ever supposed to work out in any capacity that isn't this. But being in the good old US of A, there is no avoiding Christmas no matter what you celebrate or who you are. Christmas is quite literally shoved down your throat to the utmost degree. And just like most Christian-based faith is, most of it was just stolen from the pagans. And over time, most of it, if not all original context, was completely wiped out, like fertility rituals ending up being dyeing eggs for zombie Jesus during Easter. But outside the US, a lot of their original paganistic creatures stuck around for their Christian Christmas holiday season, so today we'll take a look at cannibal scarecrows to corpse horses and every which way in between when we take a peek at what it's like Christmas around the world. First things first, like usual, I have to tell you how we even got here. How did we even get to a Christmas, a Yuletide, a winter celebration of any type? The middle of the winter has been a celebrated time for ages. For the Romans, they had two main winter holidays. The first, Saturnalia, which you can quickly infer was for their god Saturn, who you may have some familiarity involving the depictions of him eating his son. This was a 2-week festival all for the god of horticulture, as well as on December 25th, they celebrate the birth of their sun god Mithra. Both of these holidays were like most celebrations at that time, drunken feasts. They would even let the slaves have time off to celebrate the holiday themselves. So the winter was seen as a very joyous and celebratory time, even all the way back then. As for the pagans, the winter solstice was a joyous time for them. This was the celebration of the longest nights of winter being over and looking forward to the now extended light time they were gonna get. In particular for the Norse, it was Yule. In recognition of the returning of the sun, they would light logs and feast until they completely burned out, most of the time running over weeks. In Germany, our home to our most infamous cryptid, people honored the pagan god Odin. During the midwinter holiday, Germans were terrified of Odin. They believed he would make nocturnal flights through the sky to observe people and then decide who would prosper or perish. Because of this, many people chose to stay inside, and this already gives us this connotation, if you can notice, of good and bad. In this case for the Germans, it was Odin deciding, but if you can kind of inflect on what we ended up getting, it would be Saint Nick deciding who is good or bad. Not necessarily prosper or perish, but we're already getting the sense of there is someone out there judging you in the night sky, deciding if you are good or bad. And as I just touched on, undeniably the most famous Christmas monster cryptid evildoer is that of the Krampus. Although his origins are pre-Christianic, coming out of pagan societies of the Central and Eastern Alps in Switzerland, Southern Germany, and Western Austria, Krampen, which means claw in Old High German, is the son of the Norse god of the underworld, Hel. A hybrid of man and goat with giant horns, hoot feet, and a large forked tongue, standing much taller than...
Yeah, I've been told there's a lot of Christmas cryptids, you know, the Krampus, and there's some other things like trolls and other things like that. So I thought it'd be cool to do a little Christmas. I know it might seem a little dark, but I'm not trying to be dark. I thought it'd be cool to check out some things like that and share it with you guys. So let me know what you think. And I think this gal has a lot of good information she's giving out right now. So it's pretty cool to watch other people's work and see what they got going on so we can learn about those creatures. Here we go.
Men. When you see depictions of him, it evokes a very specific visual to you that now... in the modern day, we have the direct correlation to what is the devil, which actually partially comes from the depictions of the devil in the medieval time, but I will discuss how we get to what a devil looks like nowadays at a different time. It is so extensive. At one point, he was green. But nowadays, when you take a peek at him, you have this connotation of a Baphomet, a devil, a goat man, evil, you know, Satan. But at the time, he was majorly a representation of the winter, harsh, cold, unforgiving, similar to when we touched on the topic of the Wendigo for indigenous people, having this physical conduit for the wintertime itself. The belief in Krampus was prevalent in this part of Central Europe when the Romans conquered the region during the reign of Emperor Caesar Augustus. It can be assumed that the pagan people who inhabited this part of the Alps at the time had already begun to associate the Krampus with the 5th and 6th of December, and held a festival in which the Krampus featured heavily at the time of the year. And back to that whole medieval section of our visuals, because of the medieval time.
So I just wanted to test some things out real quick too, guys. Let me go back to a smaller video here. I'm trying to test out my screen here, so I'm going to go and exit out for a second. I'm not exiting out of the show, but hold on a second. All right, let me know how that looks on there. Let's see. Okay, it looks like it worked. I was hoping to show my logo. Oh, okay. Okay. Get my face out here, guys. You see that? All right, let's go ahead and keep it going here. Oh, you were raised on trolls, Karen? Wait a second. Let me read what you're saying there. Oh, so you've been told about the trolls. That'd be awesome to bring you on the show if you're ever interested to talk about the trolls. I'd love to hear what you been told. Let me know, Karen, because if you do, let me know the time and days and that work for you. Let's go ahead and get right back into the video here. Hold on a second.
Times we have a lot of lost information and documentation on cultural practices, religious things, general day-to-day stuff. The medieval times we don't have the most information back, so it is actually partially unclear if he was celebrated pre that or if he just kind of showed up after the fact. But this pagan Krampus festival would easily be the predecessor to the Night of the Krampus, which, like most pagan aspects of the culture, were intertwined into the new Christian faith being spread and or forced upon in the end of the 10th century. By the 11th century, Krampus would find his place within the Feast of St. Nicholas, playing the yin to his yang, the evil to the good, the dark to the light. St. Nick already had a few casts of characters assembled with him for the wintertime, so it wasn't really a hard do to kind of sneak the Krampus in to, once again, like most things, ingrain pagan culture into the new Christianic faith to kind of help with conversion means. And since St. Nick was a saint, it's kind of odd to have them dish out punishments, although they absolutely do to a degree. It made sense to have this new figure come in and be the one who dishes out bad. Because why are you gonna be good if nothing bad happens to you? Because that's Catholicism. Now, what would a Krampus do to you if you were a naughty, no good child? There's an array of things, but more often than not, you would get beat and or whipped with a stack of birch twigs piled together. Sometimes people will depict this as whips, but more often than not, it is just a bunch of branches. Along with this, Krampus would carry a basket or a sack, similar to Saint Nick, his good buddy, but in turn, he would take children to hell in it, or even at times eat them, or they would just completely disappear if you were up to no good. Although they integrated him into their god-honoring system, that did not stop their later attempt of banning him. During the 12th century, the Catholic Church attempted to completely ban and banish Krampus celebrations because of his resemblance to the devil. More attempts to rid the country of Krampus followed in 1934 at the hands of Austria's conservative Christian Social Party. None of this was ever successful, though, and the Krampus...
So what do you guys think of the Krampus? Do you think it's something that's true and real, that's something evil that comes around during Christmas and mess with kids? I heard a lot of stories about it. I'd love to hear what you got to say. Make a comment about it and let me know. We can go back and review your comment and answer that. Let's see here. Okay, too much. Back text. Troll and Garon's pictures. Okay, thank you for your input there, guys. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to not let you guys see the control room because it shows how to get in come in there as a guest, but I don't think anybody's gonna pop in there, without my permission. So, let me see here. Let's just keep it. All right. Let me see who's on the room. Yeah, the pictures on the right are visible, aren't they? So let's try. Let me try something different here. I went full screen. Let's see if that works, guys. Let me know.
Still stands as a Yuletide figure to this day in Germany and other regions surrounding. As well as this, a very controversial Krampus run takes place every year, and I see articles every year where they're kind of contemplating if they're going to keep doing it or not, but as of this standing right now, it is still happening. The reason being they have this debate is these are like wildly dangerous. People dress up in Krampus regalia, obviously, and they are free to go around and hit people who are in the vicinity for this situation. So they go around hitting people, they're running, chasing, trampling, doing all this. There has been a few deaths due to the Krampus run, as well as many various injuries. I said deaths, I meant broken bones. I don't know if anyone died at Krampus run.
People were killed.
Nobody was killed at Stonewall.
Nobody was killed?
I just talked, I don't know. Here, did that happen? I think it's no. I think I just completely gaslit myself. I also will say that Krampus movie, honestly, is not half bad. I watched it a few years ago being like, it's gonna be garbage. It's not bad. I don't mind it. If I for some reason was having a holiday party and needed a movie on, obviously you're gonna watch Black Christmas. If you have not seen the original Black Christmas, go watch the original Black Christmas. Period. That is the holiday movie. It's not bad. I'd queue it up after Black Christmas, you know? But undeniably, what's more scary than a Krampus? Probably a cannibalistic scarecrow who will disembowel and eat you. And Germany would actually take a part in this tale as well, but we are actually heading over to France for this Christmas monster, and it is partially based between fact and fiction. But of course, we're going to be taking a look at the fiction because that's a hell of a lot more interesting. Hans Trapp was based off a real German knight of the same name. According to legend, he was rich, powerful, merciless man who was feared by the people. Hungry for power, he created deals with the devil to get it. Eventually, the Pope himself heard of what Hans was doing with the devil and all these power-hungry traps he was setting, so he himself excommunicated him from the church altogether. This led to him losing his money and his land, being banished out of his small town in France into the mountains of Germany. This then created a power-hungry crazy man who is indebted to the devil, which isn't really someone you want hanging around. Being trapped in the mountains, he started to go absolutely crazy and became obsessed with the idea of eating human flesh. And with this, he enacted a plan. He donned himself in scarecrow regalia, stuffing his clothes with hay and sticks to look like he wasn't a man and he was just chilling on the road. Oh my god, the dog opened the door. That just scared me so bad. Kate! He set himself up on a lonely road waiting for a victim, and unfortunately, a 10-year-old shepherd boy would be it. While walking past Trapp in his disguise, the scarecrow would stab him with a stick and drag him back to his lair in the mountains. He began to slice his body into bits and roast him. It said God struck him with lightning and he fell down, bashed his head in, and died. To this day, parents in northern France warn their children that if they don't behave, Hans Trapp will show up as a scarecrow and get into their room and presumably just take them, but if you're a really vicious parent, I'm sure you'll tell them he's gonna slice and dice and eat them up. I will say there's not the most documentation on him. I don't think he's currently...
Radical jihadists are...
Okay, we'll stop right there. I'm gonna go down. Make sure you check out Deborah Valentine on the Forgotten Cryptid Christmas. I just wanted to share a little bit of her stuff. Just got some interesting things on there. I checked out more of it. So let's go check out more Christmas cryptids. Hit search. How about that, guys? We're looking together. Let's go ahead and turn that on. Okay. Now I figure out how to keep from seeing too much. Oh. right, bear with me. Okay. I think it's working. Trying to see if it's... I'm testing some things out here. Bear with me. My voice is too low. Okay, let me turn some things up here. Test 1, 2. Let's check this out. I noticed that too on here. I'm trying to see if the volume level might be wrong on your volume's all the way up. Okay. All right. How's that sound? Can you hear me better? I'm changing some settings right now. I'm going to bring this up a little bit. Change that a little bit. Go up a little bit louder. I just got to remember to change that when I'm doing. Let's go ahead and turn. Okay, that'll take care of the background sounds. So let me know if it got too loud. I'll turn it down. Thank you, Karen. So it's obviously sounding better. Let me try to get rid of that background sound. You might hear my dogs. Test 1, 2. There we go. Here we go. All right. Awesome. Okay. I'll try to make sure I leave it there for now. Let me see here. All right. So thank you for being here, Karen. Appreciate that. So you're from Matt, right? You're from Matt's his part of his group there. Getting new people popping in. Every time I go up though, people will pop in. Right now it's only one. It's only you. It's because I just did this out of nowhere, so I appreciate you coming in and checking it out.
The Belsnickel. Now the Belsnickel is a unique and Dutch.
Okay. Well, let's check this out, I guess. Let's check it out. Let's see what this guy is saying here. It's kind of interesting. Excuse me. Well, thank you for coming here, Karen. All right. We'll go back here. So now I'm learning the steps to keep people from seeing that too much stuff on here because we don't want them seeing too much. So what I got to do here is go to the room. And what we do is fold this up. So I'm trying to make it, excuse me. I'm trying to make it where you guys can see it as I go into it. So hold on a second. Yeah, that voice was funny, wasn't it? So I'm going to go ahead and play it and we'll check it out. It's from Allegeldy Strange Tales, I think is what they're called. And you only have 188 subscribers, so I'm right with them. I'm short, of course, 160. But we'll check it out. Let's check it out. So hold on a second. We're having a little fun, right? Boom. There we go. See how easy that was? I'll control that.
Now the Belsnickel is a unique and Dutch charming character who originated in Pennsylvania Dutch folklore. He's often depicted as a jolly, rotund fellow with a long white beard, dressed in traditional German clothing. But here's the twist. The Belsnickel is actually a mischievous spirit. Known for his pranks and practical jokes, he's often associated with the Christmas season, and his name is derived from the German word Pels, which means fur. So next time you hear about the Belsnickel, remember to keep your guard up. Thanks for tuning in. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating folklore and myth.
Well, that was an interesting one, wasn't it? That one's, you called it Bell Snackle, whatever they called it. What is that? I guess we should look into that a little bit later too. Let's go ahead and drop this down. Boom. And we're gonna bring me back up. Solo. All right. So while I look for something different. No, he wasn't even scary, was it? Should have had more details of what they were talking about, huh? 'Cause I have no clue what a bell sickle is. I mean, we can look it up, but let's check out. This might be too long. Let me see here. Hmm. Okay, this is another good one to check out, and it's from. Let's see here. Let me pause that sound there. Apologize. It's from Cryptids Campfire Comics. Another channel to check out. I would subscribe to them and check them out. I haven't subscribed to them yet, but will now after I check this video out. Cryptids Campfire Comics. I know that's what you gotta say before you play their videos. Of course, I'll give them a shout out, for be able to play their video. Okay, let's check it out. Oh, you got to get me back out, and here we go. And then boom, and we'll go ahead and play it. Ready? Here we go, Karen.
Welcome to our holiday special. Christmas isn't just about Santa Claus and reindeer. Around the world, folklore tells of strange and mysterious creatures that come to life during the holiday season. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the cryptids of Christmas. Let's explore the chilling, the curious, and the downright bizarre beings tied to this magical time of year. Get ready. You won't believe the most terrifying thing about these Christmas cryptids. But you have to watch until the end to find out. Our first stop takes us to Iceland, where tales of the fearsome Yule cat, or Jólakötturinn, abound. This enormous feline is no ordinary kitty. It prowls the snowy countryside, sniffing out one thing: new clothes. According to legend, anyone who hasn't received new clothing before Christmas Eve might fall victim to this monstrous cat. Some say the Yule cat devours its prey. Others claim it's just a scare tactic to encourage generosity and hard work during the holidays. Either way, it's a reminder to cherish the gifts we give and receive. The most terrifying truth about these Christmas cryptids will be revealed, but only if you watch to the very end. Next, we journey to the snowy peaks of Central Europe to meet Krampus, the terrifying counterpart to Saint Nicholas. Krampus is a horned, demonic creature with long claws, sharp fangs, and a taste for punishing naughty children. In some traditions, he swats misbehaving kids with birch branches. In others, he stuffs them into his sack to take them away. Krampusnacht, or Krampus Night, is celebrated on December 5th, when costumed revelers parade through towns to honor this sinister figure. A dark twist to the season of joy, don't you think? Folklore roots. Krampus's origins are tied to pre-Christian pagan traditions, where he was associated with winter spirits and wild, untamed forces of nature. His incorporation into Christian mythology brought a darker, more menacing dimension to emphasize contrast with St. Nicholas. Cultural symbolism. Krampus symbolizes the consequences of misbehavior, embodying a primal and frightening reminder of the need to follow societal rules. Modern interpretations. In contemporary media, Krampus is often portrayed as a villain or a horror figure, exaggerating his evil traits for entertainment. These portrayals amplify his terrifying aspects, overshadowing his original cultural role. The most terrifying truth about these Christmas cryptids will be revealed, but only if you continue watching this video to the very end. Staying in Iceland, we encounter Gryla, a monstrous ogress who descends from her mountain lair during Christmas. Gryla is known for her insatiable hunger for misbehaving children, whom she cooks in her cauldron. Her 13 sons, the Yule lads, are slightly less terrifying, but equally strange. Each night leading up to Christmas, one of these mischievous pranksters visits homes, engaging in antics that range from harmless to disruptive. From spoonlicker to door slammer, these lads embody the chaotic spirit of the season. Our next stop is Wales, home to the eerie Mari Lwyd, or Grey Mare. This cryptid appears as a decorated horse skull mounted on a pole, carried by someone hidden beneath a white sheet. Accompanied by a group of revelers, the Mari Lwyd goes door to door, engaging in a rhyming battle of wits with homeowners. If the household fails to outwit the Mari Lwyd, she's allowed to enter and bring good luck for the coming year. A strange yet festive tradition, wouldn't you agree? From the force of Germany to the Pennsylvania Dutch communities in the United States, we meet Belsnickel. This scruffy, enigmatic figure rewards well-behaved children with sweets while punishing the naughty ones with a swat from his switch. Unlike Krampus, Belsnickel isn't purely menacing. He's also a harbinger of hope and second chances, encouraging kids to shape up before Christmas Day. Finally, we meet Perchta, a dual-natured spirit from the Alpine regions. By day, she's a beautiful woman who rewards the diligent and kind-hearted. By night, she transforms into a fearsome hag who punishes the lazy and greedy, sometimes in gruesome ways. Perchta's legend is a stark reminder of the balance between generosity and selfishness, a theme that resonates with the spirit of Christmas. There you have it. The cryptids of Christmas, blending the spooky with the festive in unique ways across cultures. Whether they inspire fear, laughter, or reflection, these legends remind us of the rich tapestry of traditions that make the holiday season special. Thank you for joining us, and happy holidays! May your season be filled with wonder, warmth, and maybe just a hint of mystery.
I have a feeling that I got two mics going here. 1 second. So that was cool. Interesting. Let me go back into solo here. All right. I'll get better at this. Let me go ahead and check out my mic stuff here, guys. Give me a minute. Huh. Okay. I think it's fine. I don't think it's really picking up too much background sound. So I'll go ahead and put that back down. All right. So thank you, Karen. I appreciate you thinking the channel's cool. It will grow. It will grow. I took a long break. I'm sure you heard about it when I was talking about it on Matt's show too. But I'm back. I'm back. So wait a second. Let's see what else is out there, huh? I don't know. Let's check this one out. I'm kind of interested. This might not be a Christmas tale, but I do find the Dog Man fascinating. This will be coming from Beyond the Myth. So let's see what it is.
1987.
Let me pause it. I won't play it all the way through. We'll just see what they got to say. It's Beyond the Myth. Some YouTuber. Beyond the Myth. Looks like they just started out. Yeah, I think so. Show them a little support. All right, let's go ahead and fold this video here. Bear with me. Reaction. And then we'll go ahead and go to... Whoa, hold on a second. We're going to go here. I'm going to try something different. Then we'll go to the video. Go here. Reaction. And let's go.
Traverse City, Michigan. Steve Cook sits in a radio booth at WTCM-FM. It's April Fool's Day. He's a disc jockey. He needs content. So he writes a song. Fiction. A joke about a werewolf creature stalking northern Michigan. He calls it The Legend. He records it, plays it once, waits for the laughs. The phones light up, but people aren't laughing. They're calling to say they've seen it too. The song that started everything. Cook's song tells a story about dogman sightings in Michigan. A creature with a dog's head and a man's body, 7 feet tall, walking upright. In this song's universe, the dogman appears every 10 years, always in years ending in 7. 1887, 1897, 1907. The song describes specific locations. Buckley, Belair, the Manistee River. Cook made it up completely from his imagination as an April Fool's prank and had never heard of an actual Michigan dogman at the time of the recording. But after the song aired, something strange happened. It became the most requested song on the station. People started sharing their own encounters. Not from the 1880s, from last week, last month, last year. Cook received over 100 reports of the creature's existence. The song created the legend, or revealed it, depending on who you ask. The earlier accounts, or did they come after? This is where it gets real spooky. Cook's song spoke of lumberjacks in 1887, a truck driver in 1937, another in 1957. Pure fiction, dates picked for rhythm, places chosen at random. But then people started calling and telling him their elders had mentioned these incidents to them. Many matching the exact...
1 second here. I need to check something. Okay. Let me know if you keep hearing me, because I'm not sure if you heard me. This box here. Oh. This might be too loud now, right? Maybe not. All right.
Details as Cook supposedly invented. So what was happening? Were minds shaping memories to fit the tale? Did Cook unknowingly tap into the unknown? Or did he lie about inventing them? Whatever the answer, this is how sightings have been reported. 1887, Wexford County. 2 lumberjacks working the pine forests. Michigan is the leading white pine lumber producer in the nation. The camps are deep in wilderness, isolated, dense forest for miles. They're making their way through the woods when they see it. 7 feet tall, standing upright, the body of a man, the head of a dog, eyes that glow, blue or amber depending on the account. When it howls, the sound cuts through them. Not like any animal they know, like a human scream. It watches them, then disappears into the trees. They tell their story in camp that night. Other men nod. They've heard things, seen tracks. Something moves through these woods that doesn't fit. 1937, Paris, Michigan. Robert Fortney is 17 years old, fishing along the Muskegon River. Peaceful afternoon. Then 5 wild dogs appear, surrounding him, aggressive. Fortney has his rifle, fires a warning shot. Most scatter. One doesn't. It's massive, black fur, larger than the others. And instead of running, it does something impossible. It stands up, rises on its hind legs, 6 feet tall, staring at Fortney from 10 feet away with piercing blue eyes. And then it grins. Not a snarl, a grin. Fortney fires again. The creature runs, but not on all fours. Upright, on 2 legs, like a man. Fortney doesn't tell anyone for 49 years. When Cook's song airs in 1987, he finally calls the station. He recognizes what Cook described, because he saw it decades ago. Later, he says, "It may be that I was just scared, but I swear that dog was smiling at me." 1938. Muskegon River. Different witness. A man fishing. Same river. A year later, wild dogs approach. He reaches for his shotgun. One stands on its hind legs and glares at him. He fires. It runs. 2 witnesses. 2 years. Same river. Same impossible behavior. The 1950s. Allegan County. Multiple reports. Always described the same way. Bipedal. Canine head. 7 feet tall. Eyes that watch with intelligence. 1967. Cross Village, Manistee. Sightings cluster again. Northern Michigan. Forested regions. Near water. Pattern emerges. Years ending in 7. Though reports come other years too. 1887. 1917. 1937. 1957. 1967. 1977. 1987. The pattern holds, or seems to. What people reported. The descriptions stayed consistent across decades. 7 to 10 feet tall. Bipedal. Covered in dark fur, brown, black, sometimes gray. Wolf-like head. Powerful build. Clawed hands. The eyes. Always the eyes. Blue or amber. Intelligent. Predatory. And the sound. A howl that transitions into something like a human scream. Reports came from Ottawa County and Grand Haven between 1993 and 1994. A man identified only as Ben claimed 3 separate sightings. In December 1993, he spotted the creature in his parents' driveway on Lakewood Drive, standing behind a car on its hind legs. It ran when he screamed. Different witness. Same year. Same area. Someone hit a large animal with their car. Thought it was a deer. Found gray fur in the grill. No body. The reports kept coming. Manistee National Forest. Cross Village. Roads near Lake Michigan. Remote areas. Forested. Often near water. Always the same description. The investigator. Linda Godfrey began investigating upright canine creatures at the end of 1991. She was a newspaper reporter in Wisconsin, tracking down sightings of what locals called the Beast of Bray Road. Her research expanded.
I remember right. I think she passed away, didn't she? She definitely was onto something. I loved her research, and if I remember right, I think she did leave us all behind not too long ago. And I believe somebody else is continuing her work. But let's go ahead and hear more about it.
To Michigan. She interviewed witnesses, visited locations, documented accounts. Godfrey was a journalist and artist who took the dogman from an obscure legend to one of the most popular cryptids in North America. She collected dozens of reports. People who saw something they couldn't identify, something that didn't fit known animals. Godfrey tried to lend a credible framing to the strange body of dogman anecdotes, though many tales were recounted from decades ago. She remained open, never claiming proof, never dismissing witnesses. She died in 2022. Her books remain the primary documentation of the phenomenon. The Gable film, 2007. A video surfaces online. Grainy 8mm footage. Appears to be from the 1970s. Home movie quality. People on snowmobiles. Someone chopping wood. A dog playing. Standard family stuff. Then the camera's in a moving vehicle. Something's moving in the field. Four-legged. Dark. The person filming gets out. Follows on foot through the woods. The creature appears on a ridge. Stands. Watches. Then charges. The camera shakes. Drops. A flash of teeth. Nothing. It went viral. Thousands watched. Debated. Analyzed. Micah Grusa, the film's creator, was interviewed and explained the process he used to make the film. He demonstrated how he pulled the effect off. A hoax, admitted, documented, but some people still believe it's real, still claim the admission was coerced, still see details in the footage that prove authenticity.
All right, we'll end it there on that one. I always thought that was a hoax, when the one right here, let's see here, to this part. That I definitely felt like that was a hoax because it looked like a man running on all fours, what I was told, wearing like a costume. But I could be wrong, but I feel like it was probably a hoax. If I could find an original video of it, I'll share it. But we'll do that down the road. Here we go.
Stands, watches,
Real quick.
then charges. The camera.
So it's hard to say. What do you think, Karen? Let me go ahead, get something else. I'm gonna go ahead. You can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Let me try something. Oh. Can you hear me? How about now? Can you hear me? It might have been when I had the video shut off. I don't know. Let me check this out. Whoops, here I go again, making a little mistake. I'm learning. Solo. All right. Let's check it out here. Okay, if you can hear me loud and clear now. Interesting. Let's see here. Can you hear me still? I'm trying a couple things, so let me know. Test 1, 2. Can you hear me loud and clear? Here we go. Here we go. Usually I don't have a problem with that, but let's see here. Okay. Let me know if it keeps sounding good, because I'm thinking maybe this extra mic was on and it shouldn't be on. It might have been picking me up on a computer and it sounded like crap. It's awesome. Okay. We're going to play one more, and then I'm going to end it. Because I wanted just to test some things out. And I appreciate you coming in and hanging out. So let's go ahead and check out. Let's see here. Let's check out this little story. It was a year ago. Coming from Cryptids Across the Atlas. So let's check them out.
Imagine being able to build an app.
Second. Well, looks like an ad's gonna play. So it's Cryptid Across the Atlas. He's got a huge audience, so that's pretty cool. I appreciate that, Karen. All right, let's see what happens here. You keep it up, I'm gonna promote you to be my moderator. All right, let's see where it's going on here. Hold on a second. Keep an eye on the bad apples, and we ain't there yet, but let's see here. Let's
With your name on it, just by thinking about it.
Stop that sound. Skip. Pause. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. It's gonna be the last video I'll play. I won't play it all the way through because it's too long, but we'll check it out. So here we go. Oh, I forgot something. Hold on a second, guys. It's bringing me back up for a minute. boom, boom. All right, I'm getting the hang of it here. I just gotta get faster at it. And here we go.
You're browsing the Cryptid Archives, narrative short stories based on real cryptid encounters, presented by cryptids across the Atlas. An unwelcome Christmas visitor. The Sierra Nevadas wear winter like an old, heavy coat, the kind that's been passed down through generations, absorbing the scents and the stories of countless snowy seasons. That particular December, the mountains seemed to pull that coat tighter around their shoulders, as anticipating the strangeness that would soon unfold within their frozen folds. Our little party arrived at the cabin in high spirits, the truck's tires crunching through fresh powder as we wound our way up the narrow access road. The air was diamond sharp, biting at exposed skin but invigorating after the long drive from the coast. As we tumbled out of the vehicle, stretching stiff limbs and breathing great gusts of steam, the cabin loomed before us like a rustic fortress against the gathering dusk. My old college buddy, Mike, had been inviting us up to his family's vacation spot for years, but something had always fallen through. Work obligations, family commitments, the usual culprits, you know. But this year, the stars had finally aligned. My wife Sarah and I had finally found ourselves with a rare block of free time, and the prospect of a white Christmas in the mountains, it had proven irresistible. Now, standing before the sturdy two-story structure, its honey gold timbers glowing in the late afternoon light, I could see why Mike was so enamored with this place. It looked like something out of a Norman Rockwell painting. All cozy angles and cheerful windows, smoke curling invitingly from the stone chimney. Even the smattering of snow on the roof looked artfully placed, as if the cabin was putting on its holiday best for our arrival. As Mike led us inside, pointing out quirky architectural features and cherished nooks, I felt the city tension begin to drain from my shoulders. The interior was all knotty pine and plush furniture, the kind of overstuffed coziness that invites long conversations and, well, longer naps. An enormous stone hearth dominated one end of the great room, its fireplace already crackling merrily, as if in anticipation of our needs. "Mom and Dad are sorry they couldn't be here to welcome you themselves," Mike had said, dropping our bags by the stairs with a thud. "But they'll be up first thing tomorrow, presents in tow. For now, mi casa su casa." And so began our picture-perfect Christmas getaway. The next few days passed in a blur of homespun comforts, lazy mornings over steaming mugs of coffee, rambunctious board game tournaments, long rambling hikes through the snow-muffled forest. By day, the landscape sparkled like a diamond, the sun reflecting off of the snow-covered hills. At night, though, the stars blazed with a cold, fierce beauty.
This game, you're not ready for it.
You're in the middle of this beautiful sci-fi environment, and you're seeing intrigue, the espionage, the alliances form, the power that shifts around, and it's amazing.
Completely untainted by city light pollution. On Christmas Eve, we pulled out all the stops. Sarah and Mike's girlfriend Jenna commandeered the kitchen, filling the cabin with rich, familiar scents of roasted turkey, baking pies, and gently simmering cider. Mike and I took charge of decorating, draping every available surface with garlands, stringing lights from the rafters until the great room glowed like a jewel box. The dogs, Mike's affable golden retriever Boomer and our little terrier mix Ziggy, supervised the proceedings with thumping tails and hopeful noses. As evening fell, we gathered around the hearth, pleasantly full of good food and better company. The fire popped and hissed, casting playful shadows across the walls as we traded stories and toasted marshmallows to a perfectly charred crisp. Outside, snowflakes drifted lazily past the windows, fat and heavy, with promise of a beautiful white Christmas morning. It was the kind of night that embeds itself deep in your memory, like a favorite song, all warm chords and soaring refrains. The kind you know, even in the moment, will become a touchstone, a shining example of what the holidays are supposed to be. Looking around at the faces of my friends, limed in firelight and flushed with laughter, I felt a sudden surge of pure, uncomplicated contentment. If I had known then what the night still held in store, would I have savored that moment more, clung to it tighter, fixing every detail in my mind like a snapshot? Or would I have been more watchful, maybe a little more weary of the darkness that pressed against the cabin's cheery windows? As it was, I drifted off to bed, pleasantly exhausted, my belly full of spiced apple cider and my heart full of quiet joy. Sarah was already curled beneath the quilt in the guest room, her breathing deep and even. I remember passing by the doorway, just watching her for a long moment, marveling at the small miracle of our life together. The room Mike had given us was a charmer, all dark wood and cheery quilts. It sat at the far end of the cabin, with a wide picture window that looked out over the back porch and the forest beyond. As I slipped beneath the covers, the faint scent of cedar and lavender enveloped me like an old friend. I couldn't help but smile at our good fortune together. And sleep came quickly, but it didn't last. The first thing that registered was a faint vibration, like the onset of a distant earthquake. The bed frame seemed to hum with it, the headboard rattling gently against the wall. Somewhere in the fuzzy space between dream and waking, I remember thinking that tremors weren't uncommon in California, that this one would likely pass as quickly as it had come. But then came the...
Yeah, I want to note on that, Karen. That was a weird commercial, wasn't it? I was like, what is that? So, good point.
The footsteps. They were heavy, strategically placed, each one sending a judder through the floorboards that I could feel in my teeth. At first, my sleep-addled brain tried to rationalize them as one of the dogs, or perhaps Mike getting up for a late-night snack. But as the fog of sleep dissipated, the wrongness of the sound became impossible to ignore. The footsteps were too weighty for a dog, too widely spaced for a human, and they were coming from the back porch? The elevated back porch, 6 to 8 feet off the ground with no stairs leading down to the yard? The porch that was, for all intents and purposes, inaccessible from the outside. By the time I finally managed to shake off the last clinging tendrils of sleep and sit up, the footsteps had stopped. The sudden silence rang in my ears, broken only by the faint whistling of the wind through the evergreens outside. For a moment, I wondered if I had imagined the whole thing, if the combination of rich food and unfamiliar surroundings had spawned some peculiarly vivid dream. But then something shifted outside the window, and all thoughts of dreams vanished. The motion was subtle at first, a flicker of a shadow against shadow. a trick of the eyes, but as I stared, pulse beginning to hammer in my throat, the shadows resolved into a shape. A large, distinctly non-human shape, moving with a fluid grace that sent instinctive alarm bells.
Okay, I'll stop it there. So it's basically a nice little story being told about a Bigfoot hanging out, watching the kids and family having a Christmas time. So I was expecting a little something different with that, but I was starting to get a little bored with that. I'm sure you were too. Maybe you might have found it interesting. I don't know. But it was all right. But I'm going to go ahead and bring that back down. And I'm going to go ahead and play one more before I go. So I'll get better at this. Bear with me, Karen. I'll get better. Yeah, it's one of those things where you just want to fast forward it. So that one was a little bit boring on that story. It was interesting, but not enough to be, I don't know, for the show. Let's see here. Let me, didn't realize I was still blocked on there. My screen video is down. Hold on a second, bear with me. Boom. All right, so here I am. All right. Yeah, I hope I'm not boring you too much. Let's check out. You know what? I think we're gonna end it with one of the. I'm gonna have to fast forward to it, but you won't be able to listen to the whole thing. It's an hour long. It's gonna be coming from the Dark Zone Whack, or maybe I'm saying that wrong. It's a Dark Zone WCAK 11:24 a.m. It's coming from them. This is a video of theirs. We'll share it and check it out. Only reason I'm going to play it's because it's Art Bell. Art Bell have always been an interesting guy to listen to. I listen to some of his old stuff. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're not bored. Let's go ahead and see what it's got to say on here. Give me a minute.
I've got a map to the burial location of two creatures.
Yeah.
We'll decide as the program wears on what it is these creatures are.
This story was the most interesting one I ever heard from Art Bell's show. I found it very fascinating. And I like how they have the logo right here. The Dark Zone WCAK 11:24 a.m. To be able to show people that's where this is coming from. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
I'm going to introduce two people to you right now. One is Robert W. Morgan. Robert, are you there?
Listening with both ears.
You are there. Okay. Let's see. The first thing you wanted me to do was to give out your phone number on the air, right?
Yeah, just like I'm going to give out your home. You betcha.
All right. So you're kind of in retreat right now. When you first wrote to me, you said I'm kind of undercover with a pal. So you've been nobody's found you for a while, Robert.
Yes, I'm living somewhere in Montana, and as you know, it's a pretty large state.
I know.
And I'm here on purpose, and it's carrying on some things. We've had some rather significant successes with those audio cassettes that I had mentioned to you at one time.
Right.
And so far, 16 people so far, by following that, have had face-to-face
meetings.
Yes.
Encounters.
Yes.
With Bigfoot.
Yes. And so what I'm trying here is, since I found that I needed an area where I wasn't known and where people would not waste their time playing nonsense, and starting from scratch. And at the same time, of course, I love Montana. I've been in and out of Montana for 20-some years, and it's absolutely fabulous.
All right. So your quest continues, and you've been researching Bigfoot for how long, Robert?
Well, my first sighting was 1957, but I didn't start serious research until about, I think it was 1969.
And you have, did you write a book?
No, I did an audio cassette. The book is incomplete because I haven't finished it yet for obvious reasons.
All right. Well, I may have another chapter for you here.
Good. I'm all ready.
All right. So you'll be doing a lot of listening, although you're welcome to ask a question as the story unfolds.
Thank you.
It was, I don't even know how long ago. Bugs, are you there?
Yes, I am, Art. Good morning.
Good morning, Bugs. Can you, Bugs.
Here's my dog.
Bugs and a friend. That's your dog, huh?
Yep.
Bugs, you want to tell us what state you're in?
Yeah, I'm in Texas, Art.
Texas. All right. How long ago, Bugs, did you tell me originally the story of what you did?
Gosh, Art, it's been 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years. Yeah, I thought it was quite a while. Time flies.
Yep,
all right.
I'm getting older every day.
Aren't we all? All right, Bugs, I've got a real expert here, as you can hear, Robert W. Morgan.
Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing fine. You?
I'm alive and meaner than cat dirt.
Well, I keep telling everybody I'm still breathing, so I guess we're all right.
All right, fine. Bugs, if you would begin at the beginning. And by the way, Bugs, before we even start, why did you send me this map?
Because, Art, my days are limited on this earth, and when I'm gone, my wife's going to call you and say, go for it.
Really?
And you can reveal to the world a map. I have not been back to that place since that day.
All right, let's start then with that day. Go ahead and tell it in as much detail as you want, Bugs.
Art, me and 2 of my friends, which I'll refer to as Bird Dog and Jim, were coyote bobcat hunters. Back in the middle 70s, those varmints was worth a lot of money.
How much could you get for one?
Well, no bobcat would bring anywhere from $300 to $700. That pelt.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And coyotes is bringing like $40-50 a piece. And then we'd go out, and to be honest with you, it was a little more than a hobby. We were real serious about it.
Right.
And we hunted many, many nights all over this country.
Were you making your living that way then?
Yes, I was. I was farming at that time. I'd gotten out of the Marines and came back home, and I was farming. And in that part of the year, there's cotton country up here, so we didn't have much to do in January and February except kind of sit around.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And we hunted a lot in that period of time because you had to wait until the freeze come for those pelts to cure. For some reason, and I don't know, maybe somebody can explain it to me, but an animal like a coon or coyote or whatever, if you kill them before it comes a hard freeze, when you skin them, their pelts are blue on the inside after they dry out. If you kill them after a hard freeze, they're white.
Huh.
And I have no earthly idea why that is.
Does that sound right to you, Robert?
Yeah, I've seen that multicoloring, but I had no idea the reason. I didn't make that correlation. That's interesting.
Okay.
But, so anyway, it was like in December, January, and February that we hunted a tremendous amount. And then in late February, to get into what they call a rutting season, and the animals would get mange and whatever, and they wasn't worth hunting. So about 2 months, you had prime time hunting. And me and these 2 guys, we hunted a lot. We were all 3 from Vietnam veterans, and very close friends. And we had one night we had gone. I don't know how to tell this to keep from giving the location away, but
whatever words you want doesn't matter.
If somebody knows what I'm talking about, they can find out. But anyway, we had hunted and we back in the flatlands. So then we took this road back up north of where I'm at now. And it swung around. It runs through ranch country. It's probably 25, 30 miles. Nothing but ranch land.
So in other words, this location is within, 100 miles of where you are now?
Oh, it's closer than that.
Closer than that, all right.
It's within 30 miles of where I'm at right now.
Okay.
So anyway, we came around and we came across this, we were going to cross this creek. It's more than a creek. But its name is Elm Creek. And we were going to cross that creek. We'd come around back north and coming down that county road through this ranch land and stuff. And these ranchers loved us because we'd get rid of the coyotes that were taking their calves. And this had to be 4 probably 3, 4, 5 in the morning. I don't remember the exact time.
Mm-hmm.
Come around the bend, and then in this bottom there, just before you cross Elm Creek.
So you're hunting with lights then?
Oh yeah, we're using spotlights off the roof of the pickup. We're using 500-watt halogen bulbs. It would light up anything from within a half a mile. You can see where you're standing, see the ground good.
And anything with eyes lights up real well.
Them eyes. The thing about it is, after you've hunted as much as we did, you could tell by looking at a set of eyes what they were.
Mm-hmm.
If they were a cow, they were wide apart and they were red. If they were a coyote, they were narrow and they were more blue-red. I mean, it just, after a period of time, Art, you knew what, you could look in that scope and you knew what was there.
I'm not a hunter, so I just take your word for it.
Well, it was just that way. I mean, but anyway, we come around this bend and come up over this rise, and there was a wheat field out in front of us, and just before we crossed this creek, and it was a valley down in there, and there's probably, I'd say it's has wheat land right there, and there's probably a quarter mile or so wide to from that road to the.
I'm going to pause for a minute. What I'm going to do is fast forward towards the end to really hear the whole detail of the story, the encounter and experience. I always thought this one was an interesting one. So if you want to hear the whole thing, you got to go to this guy right here or go check out Art Bell's, old stuff, and you can find it there. So I don't want to be one of those guys that plays the whole video. Look, you can see right here, it's 53 minutes. So if you want to check it out, Let's go ahead and find a good spot. Get to the point.
Honestly, I'm so pleased.
Oh, wait. It sounds like there was multiple stories.
Way down in there, and there's probably, I used a 240, and I said, I don't know what it is, and they don't either. And I said, well, it sure ain't nothing we know about it. Let's take it. And all three of us fired at the same time. And all of a sudden, this thing got up, and it must have been 7, 8 foot tall at least. I don't know. Scared the heck out of us. Started running, and well, we all loaded, and we fired again. We knocked it down again. And then it run, I guess, it was probably 100, maybe 150 yards from the point we fired the first time till it hit the fence and went into that creek. And we knocked it down. It's probably 25, 30 yards from the fence.
It fell into a creek.
No, not at this point. And just as it was crossing the creek, we hit it again.
Now, was it running on 4 legs or 2?
It was running on 2 legs, just like a human being. And I mean, it was...
Right, so it was running on 2 legs. It's something you've never seen before, but you 3 guys cut down on it.
Well, we had done shot, and we did not know what it was. It was hunched over. It really wasn't using its front legs, I mean, its arms, as much as it was... it wasn't standing up straight. We still thought it was, what I thought it was at first, to be honest with you, was a bear.
Yeah.
And that's why we fired.
All right, so you had 3 of you fired initially, right?
And
so
we all fired 3 times.
So
you guys are all non-vets, right?
Right.
And so you've had night combat, I'm sure.
Right.
Okay, so you have something getting up on 2 legs and running away, and you still cut down on it. Okay, all right, I have the picture. Go ahead, please.
Okay. But like I said, I originally thought it was a bear.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea. We had done fired on it at the point in time that it was sitting out there. And once we fired, I don't know, I guess we just got a little bit gung-ho and kept shooting. But anyway, the second time we shot it went over the fence. Well, we went and looked, and at this point in time, we were all getting scared because we thought, well, maybe this wasn't an animal.
Right.
So, like I say, it was probably 3, 4, 5 in the morning, so we decided to drive around a while. About 5:36, we went back over there, and we drove up there, and we went down, and we seen blood. So, we've seen some tracks. Looked like a human foot, and to be honest with you, I thought, well, now we done shot a human.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm getting scared. So we go on up and start following these tracks, and the creek runs all from this point.
So I remember when I heard this when I was way younger. I was real young. when I heard this story, it really had me on the edge of my seat, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's talking about a Bigfoot that he shot," you know. Excuse me, and he goes into more detail, and it's just a fascinating encounter experience this guy had. He definitely. I'm gonna go ahead and let it finish playing through that part. This is obviously has more than multiple encounters or experience on here. I thought it was gonna go a whole lot longer, so I guess we'll let it play till the end of his little experience there.
Point probably 50, 75 yards east, and then it turns back south some. Well, these tracks are going down the creek, and they come out, and they went straight on east from where the creek turned back south. About another 25, 30 yards, there was a plum thicket. And we were walking there, and we heard something in that plum thicket. I mean, it was a growl-type sound. And we kind of looked at each other, and so we decided, well, who goes in and see what it was?
A growl.
Yeah, and again, at this point, we thought, well, it's a bear. We done found a bear up here. So I got elected. I had a 44 Magnum pistol. I climbed into the plum thickets, and I got in, probably 20 feet at the most. And Art?
Quick question for you, Karen, since you're the only one here right now. Maybe we got another person here. I'm not sure. If we do have another person here, please leave a comment in the video. I'd love to hear what you got to say. But Karen, have you ever heard this story? That's my question for you. I'm going to go ahead and play.
This thing come up at me. I mean, it couldn't have been over, I'd say, 6 or 7 feet from me. I didn't even see it until it was there. And it raised up and let out a sound that is very similar to the one you have on your tape. And when it did...
You're talking about, as he grabs for it, this one, I presume.
Just the first one, not a repeat, just a...
Yeah, that first scream is said to be an authentic Bigfoot sound, Robert.
Yeah, that's what they say. I have never heard them scream like that. I've heard them howl, I've heard them hoot, and I've heard them talk. But I've never...
You've never heard a scream like that?
No. First of all, I've never challenged them, so they don't perceive me as a threat of any sort, so they wouldn't try to
Understood.
do that.
All right, so anyway, Bugs, it sounded something like that.
It's something similar to just the first part. It didn't go on and on. It's just one shrill.
Right.
And I'm basically on my all fours in a crawl position.
Yeah, Karen, it's kind of like a Sierra sound. I think that was a different recording of it. I don't know if it was an actual recording from the Sierra sounds that we hear, now, but that one was a similar one. And he was basically asking the guy if he heard that sound when he did, what he did. This is the most fascinating story. It's one of the first Bigfoot encountering stories I ever heard, especially when it was a couple. Like, they basically said there was like 2 of them. I'll let you finish hearing it. But Art Bell is the one, man. Art Bell is the one who started all these podcasts, really, to be honest. He's the man behind podcasts, to be honest. He's the one that started all this stuff, really. It was just basically a radio show, but he, bring people on to talk about their experience and UFOs and all kinds of stuff. So be sure to check out Art Bell. He's from the past, and you know what? Much respect for that show. So if you really want to check out some cool stuff, check out Art Bell. Check him out you can find him on Spotify, I think, some of his old stuff. So I would show that support there. That's pretty cool stuff. But anyhow, yeah, I'll let it finish playing.
And I just brought my 44 up, and I started popping shells. And the first one I hit, the first one hit it, I just aiming right at the chest.
Describe what this thing, since you were seeing it now full on, what did it look like?
Oh.
Best you can.
At that point...
6 feet tall.
Probably, but it was not standing up, Art, at that point. It was more in a hunched, squat-type position.
All right.
I mean, it come up
Would you describe this as human looking, as ape looking? Did it have hair covering it? What can you tell us about it?
It had brownish red hair. It had hair on the face, completely covering the face. Its whole body was covered with hair. At that point, I just fired. It dropped down, started back up. I fired again, and it then kind of rocked and went backwards, and it come back up, and I fired again. I hit it 3 times with 225 grain 44 Magnum hollow point, probably 6 to 8 feet, and it was down. Well, the other guys were standing guard up on top watching, and they couldn't see nothing. They heard me firing, and they yelled if I was all right, and I said, "Yeah, I got it." Well, they came crawling in there and where I was at, and they seen it, so we decided we'd drag it out. And we got to looking, and all this thing had was 3 holes. And this was a female. You could tell it had breasts similar to a woman. It had a sexual organ similar to a woman.
Really?
Facial features were different than a human being. Like I say, it was covered completely in hair. So we went back in and we found the male probably, I'd say, 8-10 foot behind where she was at. He was dead.
He was dead?
Yeah. So we drug him out. We laid him out side by side. The male was probably 6 to 8 inches taller than the female, estimating the male to probably be 8 foot plus, female 7 plus. So we looked at him. We got scared because, like I said, in the male, he had sexual organs like a human. We looked at their teeth. They were not human type teeth. I can't say that they were an ape. I can't say that they were a human. They had the features of a human overall, but the details were not.
I want to cover this. I'm getting a lot of judgmental stuff, saying stuff like, "You killed it after you knew it was a bear or thought it was a bear," or did it ever occur to him that maybe he shouldn't shoot it, or at least he had to run the other way, or my God, out shooting animals? A lot of judgmental stuff. But if I were to be judgmental, we wouldn't get the story. What I really want is the truth here. So I'm not going to sit in judgment of Bugs. There are a lot of people responding that way, Bugs, as you might imagine. But I'm not interested so much in that as I am the truth. I want the truth, and if the truth is what you were doing, then that's what you were doing. And so I just want the truth, and you are telling us the truth, right?
That is correct, Art. I wouldn't have sent you
All right, we're going to leave it right there. So if you want to finish hearing the story, go check out Art Bell. You'll find it there. I know it's a little bit of a cliffhanger for you, right? But, he basically told the details at the end of the experience he had. And, did he really shoot a Bigfoot and a female Bigfoot and, bury them? I don't know. I mean, they said they dragged him out, but you start to think, if they're about 8 feet tall, wouldn't it weigh a lot? I mean, I don't know. It'd take more than 3 guys to drag a 8-foot Bigfoot, you would think. But I don't know. I'm just guessing there. Okay, let's back this out real quick. Bear with me for a minute. Here we go. Apologize. Second. Solo. There we go. I'm still learning the steps. I'll get better at it. And here I am. All right. So I appreciate you, Karen, coming in here to hang out with me and check out the show. This is just a test run, and I think it's going to go pretty well. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The future people that will watch it, I hope they enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, Gosh damn it. I'm sorry, Karen. If you want to check out the rest of it, go ahead and check it out. I don't want to play the whole video because I don't want to make it like a 2 or 3 hour video. Basically, at the end of it, I can tell you a little more about it. Basically, that he buried them and he was trying to give him the details where they were at to find the remains, but didn't even try to say the government came in and took it. But you'd have to listen to it. But the thing is, if we go ahead and listen, let's see what else is here. Hold on a second.
Otherwise.
No, I believe you. I believed you the first time, and I believe you now. There are a lot of people who don't like it, but this is a very...
I'm doing this for you, Karen.
Very important story in view of the probable physical evidence that still exists.
Well, you got to remember something. At that point in time, we were making our living basically hunting. Art, there was many a night that I went out and I made $1,000 in a night.
Really?
No, you know, Karen, I actually just wing it. I just went for it and decided to just go out and start playing some things I thought would be interesting to share. I basically was in mind of thinking, you know what? I'm just going to look at some videos and share it with people and be fresh into it with them. Even though I heard this story, this experience, it was fascinating to me. Oh, no problem. I'll go ahead and finish a little bit on it.
I mean, there was one night, my biggest night ever. We killed 3 bobcats, 7 coyotes, and 18 coons, and we had $2,400 the next day.
I've got you. So again, I'm not judging you here. Somebody else would like to know. They've got a 5-year-old listening, and they want to know really what these creatures look like. Now, you said not exactly human, not exactly total animal, like something in between. Is there any way you can describe the facial features of these creatures? It should be imprinted on your memory.
Here you go.
Yeah, Art. No, because I've never seen nothing on this earth that looks like them. Their heads, they have a nose similar to a human.
Okay.
Their mouths appear to be more ape. Their eyes are sunken back in their head more than human.
Okay.
I mean, I think if you take a human and cross it with a ape, you could probably come up with a reasonable facsimile of it.
Oh.
You know what I might suggest, Art, if you don't mind?
Sure.
Bugs, after we go off the air, if you would give Art your mailing address, which
Art has my mailing address, he has my phone numbers, he has everything.
Okay, what I'd like to do is...
Robert, let me just interrupt. I've promised him anonymity, and we'll explain why here shortly.
Oh, no. What I meant by what I mean is, what I'd do is send a copy to you, Art, and have you forward it to Bugs. The idea is this: on the cover of that is one of the best artist renderings I've ever seen because I sat with the artist myself.
On the cover of what?
On the cover of the cassette that I have.
Of a cassette? Oh, of your cassette, all right.
Right, and that way, what I'd like to do is get a reaction from Bugs and he can tell that to you. That's number one. Number two, can I ask you something, Bugs? What
Sure.
kind of soil were these two buried in? Was it sandy? Was it dirt?
This part of the country is sandy loam, and it was it wasn't silk sand, but it was a sandy loam in that particular place where we buried them. It was more of a gravel type sand because it was it did have some rock in it because that creek was probably from the point we buried them. The creek kind of went south, about probably 150, 200 yards, and then it turned back east. And over the period of time when we had a lot of high rains in this part of the country, it would wash silt and such in there.
Are you saying that the creek would overflow into this specific area?
Yes.
Oh boy, because that'll cause a different type of decomposition. Did you take a GPS reading?
A what?
Probably not, Robert. I would say not. A GPS.
Oh, no, I don't have one of them animals.
Yeah.
Okay, if we supplied one, would you take the readings and send those to Art?
Well, he's given me an extremely specific map.
Oh, okay.
Very, very specific.
I mean, that map is detailed down
yeah.
to the foot.
You would know where to dig. Listen.
To be honest with you, this...
Question is, though, did they ever find the remains? Let's find out.
Happened 30-plus years ago, and I have not been out there since.
Bugs, when you had these things lying on the ground, what did you guys talk about, and why did you decide to bury them?
We thought they could be human, Art. and we didn't want to go to jail.
But what you just described is what. Yeah, I understand. In other words, there were enough
When you're
human.
sitting there and you're looking at the sexual organs of two animals that's got identical to human beings, what do you think?
Robert, with what you know about Bigfoot, do they have sexual organs? The reports you get, do they have sexual organs similar to humans?
Oh yes,
They do.
So far, everything that Bugs has mentioned is something that I've observed myself. So yes.
Oh.
He's right on the nose.
Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that fact.
Have you ever seen Bugs any of the Bigfoot photos, like the Patterson film? Any of those that exist?
Not, Art.
You haven't.
No.
Would somebody please send me a good Bigfoot photograph right away?
I'm on the computer. I can't look at it.
Oh, you can? All right. Well, no, send it to my webmaster, webmaster@artbell.com. If somebody would send a good Bigfoot photograph to webmaster@artbell.com right now.
Well, it's too bad our website isn't up because we have all of them on there.
Oh, you do?
Yes, and unfortunately it's under reconstruction right at the moment.
Okay, well, somebody will send us a photograph. Depend on that. In the next 15 minutes.
I want to pause this for a minute. It looks like we got 3 people in the room, which, hey, I'm happy to see that. I'm hoping, because eventually I'm going to go on Facebook and TikTok and promote before I go up live. But I just, thankful for you being here, Karen, whoever else is in here, showing the support. Eventually I'll, make sure people know about when I'm going up so that we can get more people involved. So that'd be awesome. And yeah, I'm having fun with it, just reviewing reaction to these videos and hearing people's stories. Definitely always had much respect for Art Bell. Let's go.
Minutes
or so. We'll try and get it up for the next hour.
I will give a little more detail as to the location of this to tease the people out there.
All right.
The biggest river in the state of Texas that I guess you might say is the Red River. This Elm Creek is a branch off of the Red River of the state of Texas.
Okay. That's the only sound. Actually, you heard that scream sound, but other than that, you heard a growling. What you would describe as
Art, I don't know whether it was a growling or a rustling or something, but something got our attention in those bushes.
Now, when they moved, you said they moved on 2 feet, or seemed to walk on 2 feet, hunched over or straight up?
It was hunched over. To be honest with you, when it was running, it looked like a bear. When it was running away from us, it looked like a bear, and I'm thinking dollar signs. That's why I fired.
He was probably pretty badly injured by your first fusillade. And what he was doing, I think, is, number one, escaping. Number two, he was going to the protection, hopefully, of his mate. And the mate may have picked him up and carried him to where you caught him.
I don't know that happened. It's possible because there was grass where he came out of that creek and headed east there.
Mm-hmm.
Maurice in Modesto, California asks, if you were hunting for money, why didn't you all decide to bring these creatures back for a hell of a profit? They'd be worth a fortune.
Yeah, and maybe go to jail for the rest of your life, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the fellow in Modesto is overlooking the fact that if these are humanoids, then under the American Constitution, they have civil rights, and Bugs is indeed correct. He could be charged with manslaughter at least.
You know what? By the time we did the original show, by the time we finished the original show, Bugs was actually going to invite me out there, and we were going to dig these bodies up.
Good.
This was years ago.
I said I'd show you, Art. I ain't digging them up.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I own a farm near this place.
Yes, sir.
And, Art, I won't go out there at night because about, a year or so ago, I was out there late one evening with my dogs. They love to go out and swim in the creek. And I heard that sound, and, Art, I know they still want out there. And to be honest with you, I think they're looking for me.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bugs, we could do something. This is just a proposition here. If you would show Art where it is, and if I could be somehow involved, I would take the heat for you. I think I could get you off the hook on that.
I'm not sure you could take the heat. In fact, Larry in Anchorage asks, is it even feasible to believe these bodies are still there?
It's pretty rough in that kind of.
That's the question. Are the bodies still there? I would think, once somebody tells their experience and what they done, I think the government would be involved and they would go in and confiscate the bodies, and nobody would know about it. And I think that's what happens with the Nephilims as well. That's why we don't see or too much of anything about giants, is because I think they take it away so we don't know about it. Anytime they get found and reported.
Sandy loam, because if you have a lot of water running through there, they're going to decompose rather rapidly, and this would also escaping gases would call in coyotes, and those skeletons.
Oh no, we buried them probably. They had to be at least 4 or 5 foot deep, Robert.
Oh really? Oh
no, hey, and let me tell you something. Like our training, we were all Vietnam vets. We know how to cover our tracks. To be honest with you, when we walked away from our
boom, there you go. I'm gonna end it there. I don't want to play it all the way to the end. So what do you think? Let me go ahead and zip out of this here. We're gonna go ahead and hold on a second. I'll do this here, and then we'll go back to the control room. I gotta get faster at this because it's all manual. So I need to figure out the steps here. All right, I'm back, and you can see I'm getting tired. So what did you think about that, Karen? And what do you think about that, Mr. Duffy? That's pretty interesting encounter experience this guy was telling. Did he really shoot a Bigfoot? Did he really take down a Bigfoot male and a female and bury them next to a creek with rocks in the ground, 4 feet or 5 feet down in the ground? I think it's possible. I mean, it was one of the best encounter experiences I ever heard when I was younger. Let me know what you guys think if you like what I'm doing. This is something new I'm going to be doing for the show, for live specials, and I'll bring on guests. Maybe I'll bring on, if Duffy's down, I'll bring him on, or Karen, I'll even invite you in, and we can come on here and review and reactions on these videos, and then say what we think about it with our opinion, with respect. We'd be respectful about it. You might say, yeah, the guy's full of BS, or, I believe it. You got to just, say your opinion and keep it, somewhat, good for YouTube, and it's just the way it is. But anyhow, I think it's awesome that some people are dropping by. I appreciate it. Let me see what anybody's saying in the messenger here. Oh, I see it right here on the side. I don't always have to use my phone. Yeah, the guy said he shot him. He shot the male, and then he shot the female later. But oh, no worries, Karen. You're not interested in coming on. Well, I'm glad to see you here and check out the show. But you should check out Mr. Duffy's channel as well too. He's a pretty straightforward guy, blunt. He tells you how it is and what his opinion is, and I think it's pretty cool. Anyways, guys, I really appreciate you coming by, checking it out. Let me know what you think. Future audience that come in and check out the video. If you like what I'm doing, I'm gonna start doing this more too. And this is what people might trip out about. Let me get angled here. All right, so I got a thought. I'm thinking about, it's because of Matt and other podcasters. I checked this out, what they're doing with reaction videos. I really enjoyed it. I had fun with it, so it gave me ideas. So what I just did was a little different than what Matt does and other podcasters do. I hope you appreciated it and thought it was cool. I'm also going to promote the people that I'm showing the videos on. I'm going to be like, okay, this guy's got some interesting stuff. So, this is his channel. You got to do that to be respectful and be able to show that video. If you don't, you can get in trouble. I know that. So, what I plan to do is do some more reaction and opinions on researchers. What's your thought? Let me know what you think. I'm thinking about bringing up some researchers on the show and checking out their findings and their videos, and we give our opinions on it with respect, but they should be respectful for us too if we disagree on some things they've done, and maybe it's not so believable. Maybe it is believable. I don't know. We just got to tread lightly on the words, I believe. So that's something I'm going to work on myself. Yeah, and that's the way I think you should do it. If you're going to share videos of other people's, you might as well promote them as well, because you're bringing them on the show, really, without them knowing, but you're announcing their name, and you got to do that to be respectful by showing the video that's on their channel. So I'm gonna make sure I'm doing that right. I think I'm doing that right. So now it's just if you see him in the channel right now in the comments, that's his channel, Mr. Duffy. You click on his page there and you'll check it out. He's a pretty blunt guy. He says how it is. Much respect for the guy. Let's see here. Well, that's the thing, Karen. I've been challenging some researchers to come on the show to talk about the truth, and they keep ghosting me. I've only had a handful that come on to share their experience and talk about their research, and I've been really respectful to them. I'm not going to bash on their findings or anything like that, but I noticed some of the new researchers, they really just ghost me. I mean, I've been ghosted by, um, I'm going to say, I've been ghosted by a couple researchers that are new out there. I get it. They're busy. Maybe I'm not big enough for them to be on. I'm going to have to give a little shout out to Harley. Harley, hey, if you're seeing this, I've invited you to come on the show several times in the past, and you had things going on. I get that, but you ghost me, man. I like to bring you on so you can tell us your truth of your experience of the Dogman and Bigfoot, and I would really think it'd be awesome you came on so I can, have a good old conversation with you and hear about your experience. I'm not going to disrespect you. I have a feeling that you might think I will, but I won't. I'll tell you what I think and my opinion of the findings or whatever, but it doesn't mean, it doesn't mean I think you're lying or anything like that. And there's other podcasters. There's Steve and Joe, and there was Lucas. There's many, and I'm not gonna say their last name out of respect. But hopefully they'll come on and talk to me about it. Yeah, I want to challenge them. I want them to come on and tell their truth because they're telling the truth. They shouldn't be having a problem coming on Mountain Man Explorer the truth, right? That's the way I look at it. If you're speaking the truth, and that's one thing I noticed with having a problem with getting guests on the show, we got that truth in there. So I think they get a little scared coming on and tell their truth, or maybe they're not telling the truth, you know. And you got to think about that too, because some people are just telling a story. They're not really truly had an experience. I do believe a lot of people had encounters. I do believe people had experienced Bigfoot, Dogman, paranormal, UFOs. But there is a big, big majority of them are just telling stories, just a good old story. And I think they're scared, to come on podcast shows like mine because it has that truth in there. And that's what I'm about, Malaman exploring the truth. And I put it on the table, I'll let you tell your truth and I'll give you my opinion and what I think of it. And with respect, because a lot of people I had on my show, I gave them a lot of respect. Some of them I questioned at first, but the more I heard their story and the more detail and connection with them, I believe them. Especially Donna. Shout out to Donna, and especially to Cindy. And then there's Matt, Rye, and I had a lot of people on the show. A lot of them I really have a lot of respect for. Most of the people that came on my show have been really cool. You won't see all the episodes on YouTube, so if you really want to check it out, Karen, you can go check it out on Spotify. You'll find Mountain Man Explore the Truth and all the audio versions on there, and really cool. So, but yeah, that's the way I look at it. If you had a true experience out there, you shouldn't be scared to come on my show. You're more than welcome. Email me. Um, I'm not trying to ridicule anybody. I'm not trying to put them on the spot, especially with researchers. I've always had a thorn on my side with researchers because some of them are getting attention for, false information, and there's been really good researchers out there. Like, for example, Stacy Brown. That guy had experience down in Florida. Him and his father got something on video. He thinks it's something demonic. That's his right to think that. He's questioned things with Bigfoot, and he's not sure what to think of them. He's got a bunch of theories too. Something demonic. I respect that. The guy's out there doing research, and he's pretty known out there, and he's one of the guys to have some respect for. And there's many others that are pretty good, out there that are doing their job, out there just sharing their evidence. But the ones who want you to pay for it, to share their findings, you want to see what I got? I'll pay, $60.99 for it or whatever. Those are the ones you got to kind of question Because if I tell you what, if I had some footprints and some evidence of a picture of a Bigfoot, I'm gonna show it to you guys right away. you know, I'm not gonna say, "Hey guys, I got this picture. I'm gonna charge you $100 to see it." No, that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show it to you. 100% gonna show it to you. Yeah, I'll if you know Steve, have him come connect with me. I'll go check him out. Um, what's it called? Check out Steve, How to Hunt. Has he got a YouTube channel, Karen? Get a little silent there. Okay. Give a minute here. Come find me on Facebook, Karen, and send me the information on Steve. I'd like to check it out. If anything, you can just leave it in a comment. So, okay, that's what it's called, huh, Steve? How to Hunt. Yeah, I'll go check it out. And I really appreciate you guys coming in, checking out the show. Eventually, I'm gonna definitely do a lot. You know what? Not eventually. I am gonna start doing a lot more of this. I'm done taking a break, so I'm gonna keep going. Got a little bit of decoration going on behind me. Gonna do a little something different later on. But anyhow, I'm working on probably a new logo as well. The same logo, just gonna give it a little bit of an upgrade. Okay, I'll check it out, Karen. Thank you. So, yeah, a lot more to come. I got some guests coming on the show. There's going to be pre-recorded and pre-recorded videos and all that. And audio version's going to be awesome because I came up with an idea to make sure the audio sounds nice and clean and clear for Spotify and iHeartRadio. So I figured out how to make that sound great. And everything is what I'm using. Everything is free. I'm not gonna go play for go pay for StreamYard and all these other platforms that do the work for you. I'm doing the work. I'm having my oldest help me do the work, and it's showing me how to do the work. So it's steps. You got to be on it, and like you just saw today, I'm trying to figure out how to do these, reaction, click this and that to make sure I'm not screwing it up. But I think it wasn't too bad for a test round, so I had fun doing it, and I hope you enjoyed it. So, well, Karen, it's gonna be random days. I think I'm gonna start trying to do it. To get more videos up on YouTube, I'm going to try to do a live video almost every day or every other day or when I come up with an idea of what I'm going to do. What I'll do is try to promote it about, a day before maybe. That way I can get enough time people knowing. And I'll do a short clip on YouTube because if you're not on Facebook or anything like that, I'll do a quick short video of me saying, hey, I'm going to be going up live today to give everybody a heads up on the time and all that and what I'm going to do. But I'm going to do it more like spirit in the moment. I'm going to wing it. Basically what I mean by winging is I'm going to just come up with an idea and go right into it, not be too prepared, just do it. So I think it's more fun because I want to have the same reaction you are having, on these videos. Well, it's not going to be every day, Karen. I might be a little too realistic on that, but I'm going to try to do it because I want to try to make sure I get more videos up. Yeah, for lives, it's going to be challenging. What I might do it like every 3 days instead. We'll see how it goes. We'll play it by ear. We'll see how it goes. My plan is to try to get, the YouTube channel build up. So why not try to do it live as much as I can so I can get it build up, So once again, thanks for coming in. I hope some of my friends come by and check out the video too. They're going to miss it because they already missed it. So they'll see it live was played and hopefully they go check it out. So for the ending of this, I want to say thank you for hanging out, Karen, and I thank you for hanging out, Duffy, and whoever else came in the room. I appreciate coming by, and whoever comes by in the future watching this, thank you for watching. You made it to the end. You are awesome. Please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and hit that bell and comment and share it. Share my channel, and it really help a lot. My goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers, and hopefully within a few months. I don't know how quick I can make that happen, but I'm going to try my hardest. And then on Spotify, be sure to hit that follow button and rate it. Hit it a 5-star, and also comment on it. I really appreciate your support. And the best thing you can do is just share the show. Just tell people to come check out Mountain Man Explore the Truth. I'm gonna be straightforward with you. Be me. I'm not gonna be a fake. I'm not gonna act like somebody else that I'm not. I'm gonna be me and straightforward. And I'm gonna watch my mouth because I do have a sailor mouth. So I'm gonna try not to say any curse words. But anyhow, well, I'm really glad you came by, Karen. Here's the ending. So I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I hope you have a great year. And just keep being you and keep moving forward. Live in the now. Don't worry about things. Just keep going. So we're gonna end it like that. So let me get this set up here. All right, hold on a second, guys. I kind of have to play around with stuff just to make sure I'm hitting things right. I hope you like my intro. There's going to be an upgrade on it. It's going to be remastered, and it's going to be basically the same intro, but it's going to be upgraded and probably better, way better. Well, I plan to put some voices in there of past guests on it too. I think that would be cool to do. So, all right, you guys all have a good one, and thank you for making it to the end. And let me know what you think. What did you think of me doing this? For live shows. Did you like the reaction videos I was doing and the way I did it? If you did, give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment and let me know, and I'll get better at it. And let me know if there's some suggestions that you think I should do, and I'll try it out. Or I'll just won't. But I love to hear your opinion, and I really enjoyed having you here. Live in the now. Good night. All right, guys, you have a great one, and I really appreciate you, Karen. Take care. And we are out. Oh, one more thing. If you'd like to come on the show, email me at mountainmanett@gmail.com. You can see it on here on the page. You can also look for me on Facebook. And you had any encounter or experience that you'd like to share on the show, don't be scared to tell your truth. Come reach me and come on. Here we go. Have a Merry Christmas, guys, and a Happy New Year.